So you enjoyed that first video I put out of John's his holiday snaps, his glorified holiday snaps. Got another video, second video in this series of John's travels. Again, another one filmed in Canada. Thousand Islands dressing.
Yeah, no, well, it's where the Thousand Islands dressing was devised. Yes, that's where it came from. But it's the Thousand Island Railway.
Are they all fish? Are they all food related?
You see, that's my theme of holidaying, is to eat quite a bit. No, it's Gananoque Way, the Thousand Island Railways. So yeah, enjoy it.
Right. Okay. Over to Canada.
Welcome to another video from the beautiful country of Canada, and today we're going to be exploring the Thousand Islands Railway, or what is left of it. If you look behind me, you can see there the Gananoque Inn. Now that was built on the site of a carriage works, and this is the terminus of the Thousand Island Railways. There was a line built into the city from the Grand Trunk Railroad, which traversed Ontario east to west, and this carriage works was served by a railway line, so we're going to investigate that in a second. So there's a shot of the Gananoque Inn, the site of the former carriage works, and if I just shoot you over to here, to cross the road carefully, you can see in the distance there that there is a swing bridge that the railway line used to traverse. We'll go and have a look at that in a second. So there we can see the swing bridge, and it is a beautiful structure. It's not actually been used in terms of railway traffic since 1913, I believe, and you can see it's still been kept in great order, and it's used as a road bridge and a pedestrian bridge. It's single lane only, but it is currently actually closed and blocked off, but we may still be able to get over it and take a little wander. Here you can see the port area of Gananoque. City cruisers operate a number of tours out to the Thousand Islands area, and that's where we are, and that's why this railway is called the Thousand Islands Railway. So we're just heading down towards that swing bridge, but I thought I'd just tell you a bit about the Thousand Island Railway. So it's conceived in the late 19th century, as many railways were, and it was a spur line off of the Grand Trunk Railroad here in Canada, and it was conceived originally as the Gananoque Rideau Railway, and later renamed to the Thousand Islands Railway, perhaps for tourist purposes. And it was opened, I think it was 1894, I think. I'll check that in a second, but it was conceived probably 20-30 years before that. So here you can see the swing bridge a bit more closely up. Just take you around this area that's closed off. And you can see the reason it's closed off is actually because there's a gaping sinkhole just opened up there. But yeah, just to correct myself, this was opened in 1889, and yeah, construction actually began only in 1888. So this railway was developed very rapidly. Probably need to check those dates. Just sticking the camera there over the top, you can see the platform there that the bridge is sitting on. You can see the passenger lane on the left, and you can see the car lane now, which would have held the railway. Not quite sure if it's being developed, quite possibly, but I'm pretty sure the original swing bridge structure is the same. So yeah, amazing find. Just finally give a little bit of context in this section about the area. So yeah, Thousand Islands area. It's a tourist attraction here in Ontario, but also on the US side. So there are actually 164 islands, but generally known as the Thousand Islands, and yeah, thanks for that, cruiser. You can cross over to the US from here, and there's bridges to get over to the US, but also if you visit the tourist attraction of Bolt Island, as Bolt Castle rather I should say, on Hart Island, as I did today, you can also be crossing to the US and pass through immigration to get there. But yeah, this is a lovely tourist destination. Now, unfortunately, as the swing bridge is closed, we're going to have to go around the long way. It's about a 20-minute walk to get to the other side. So, yeah, I'll see you when I get there, and then we'll continue on the tour of this disused Thousand Island Railway. If you're ever in Gananoque Way, I can recommend this pub, the Stonewater Gastro Pub. Does reasonable grub, and yeah, quite a few good pints in there. You can get local and international ales. So here I am at the other side of the swing bridge, and I'll just show you there's a very useful information board here, so just show you this. Okay, so Water Street swing bridge, slight correction, it was opened in 1893 and it actually closed, or it's actually its main purpose was taken away very quickly after that, actually in 1894, because the carriage works that I talked about that moved to Brockville, which is a town that we'll be hearing a little bit about and seeing a little bit, I hope, in the third of this trilogy of Canadian videos I'm doing. Now they did then build the Gananoque Way Inn on the site of the carriage works, but unfortunately it couldn't sustain the railway, and the rails were lifted from the swing bridge in 1913, so only about 20 years after it opened. Just to draw your attention to a couple of things on here. If you can see this picture, there's the Gananoque Way Inn that I was talking about. There is the Stonewater Pub that I also mentioned. The swing bridge is here, and I'm standing currently around about here, and you can see there was quite a lot of railway activity here, and you can see the line swinging off here to the left. That's going back north towards the Grand Trunk Railway, and we'll show you that in a bit. There was a station here, I'm not quite sure exactly where, I'm afraid, but maybe we'll see if we can investigate that in due course. There's another picture here that shows from the opposite angle, and you can see the swing bridge. It's a beautiful structure here, and you can see the railway heading off that way towards sidings, and then I think it came back out this way towards the main line. This is actually a customs house building, I believe, which is also indicated there. Now you can see I've got onto this side, onto the platform, and there is a walking path along here, so you can see a little bit more about this beautiful bridge. It is lovely, and you can see the rivet work. We'll get to the centre bridge and then we'll turn around and come back. Show you a little bit more here. Yeah, you can see some of the detailing. We'll come back and get off the bridge. Let's just see if we can show you a little bit down the side as well. Just 1 second. So that's the profile of the bridge. Just there. So this area is the where the site of the railway sidings were, and the waterfront station, which is all long gone. It's been massively redeveloped. I think the only thing that's still standing is that lovely customs building there, which I think was opened in 1883, so around the same time as the railway, really. If we swing this way, I can show you the course of the line would have gone round, somewhere around there, and up through into the I guess town centre of Gananoque Way, and we'll go and have a look at that in a second. So we're now walking along Mill Street, very loosely following the course of the line as it went north from the waterfront towards the Grand Trunk Railway. It's about I think at least 4 miles to get to that. Won't do all of that today, but we'll show you the more interesting features in the town as it weaves its way through here. So whilst this was largely a freight line, it did also serve passengers up until I think 1957, and I think that was done via a small steam engine initially, just a tank type engine, and that hauled a combine carriage, which if you don't know what that is, that's basically half passengers, half luggage, split into two. Obviously, I'm sure this wasn't a particularly well used line, so they didn't need multiple carriages. That later transferred to diesel in about 1930, and we'll give you a bit more information on that in a second. Something to see that's quite interesting around that point. So before the railway got out of town, it had to cross the Gananoque River, which discharges south into the St. Lawrence River and to the Thousand Islands area. And the way it did that was over this bridge, lovely steel construction bridge. Now unfortunately you can normally walk over this, but it seems to be closed for maintenance at this particular point in time, which is really disappointing. But I'll show you the bridge from the side, and the train would have, or train line would have followed this course. So it wouldn't be a disused railway video without at least trying to get somewhere near some undergrowth. So you can see up here the construction of the bridge within this undergrowth. Not going to find many remnants today on this trip, because this railway has been disused for at least 60 years. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting alternative type of railway to explore. So you can probably hear the river, the Gananoque River in the background there as I just crossed over this foot and road bridge. But if I just swing around now, you're going to get a view of that railway bridge. Looks a little bit better painted on the inner walls. The outer walls still quite rusty, but yeah, you can see the size of the abutments there, the size of the bridge. It is quite an extensive span, and yeah, obviously quite an undertaking to build this. So just on the other side of the bridge here, you can see the Gananoque Public Works sign. You can see it's closed off. If we swing around now though, it's following the course of the railway up this way, and you can see there is something special there in the distance, a couple of things, artifacts to show you. This would have been, I guess, a railroad crossing at some point, so we'll cross the road and show you those couple of artifacts. So here we are at Confederation Park, and if we just scoot this way a little bit, you can see this beautiful heritage engine. Now it's obviously not running, but this actually is the original diesel locomotive that they used on this railway from 1930, I think it was, until 1957. I think final decommission happened in 1962, and then it was gifted to the city or the town and put on permanent display here. This is a 500. I'm not sure if they call them classes or whatever, but it's a 500, but it's known as the Susan Push. And obviously you can see some of the features here. The cattle or snow plough there, gets more of a snow plough really, isn't it? But yeah, you can see this is a beautiful little site to see here in Gananoque. There's a little bit of information here on the plaque about it. So this just shows you some of the challenges of some of the research that has to go into these videos. When you actually look at this sign here about the Susan Push, the dates are all about a year out of sync. So it says here it came into service in 1931, and its last run was in 1960, and then it wasn't until 1966 that it was donated by Canadian National back to the town for permanent display. So yeah, doesn't match what I read in my research online. So yeah, just some of the challenges of being a historian. Now honestly, I could just look at Susan Push all day. It's a beautiful, beautiful engine. I'm really, really enjoying exploring that. But there's something else to show you here, which I'll just swing you around and show you. Now unfortunately it's not in the best state of repair, but this is what is known as the umbrella. This is a original railway feature, I believe, obviously a passenger shelter. Unfortunately it does appear that rot is getting the better of it, and it's had to be propped up. But there's some interesting information there which I've tried to take a photo of to capture. I think the reason for having such a shelter has become quite apparent to us during our stay here in North America. When it rains here, it really rains, it really pours down. And yeah, I bet this has been used to get out of some pretty torrential downpours over the years. Just a few more details on the Susan Push. Yeah, I just love this logo so much, can't stop looking at it here. Look. It's an extensive coupling system there, air brakes, and of course you've got the lamp at the front. So now we're going to head northwest, leaving the Susan Push behind in the background, and we're going to try and follow as best we can the course of the railway as it leaves town. It's a walking path now in some places. I don't think there's an awful lot to see, but we'll just try and follow it for a bit and keep you informed of the key crossing points, etc. as it leaves town. Doesn't matter which country you're in, you can always tell when you're following a disused railway or railroad line. It's fairly straight, flat surface, really gives it away. I'm not sure if we're going to see much along here, but we'll see what we can find. We're coming to a little trestle bridge here. Obviously the railway would have passed over here, but obviously not on this bridge because it's so narrow. But I guess this possibly has been reconstructed as well, it has been reconstructed as a footbridge. Okay, so there is some fairly ancient rotting wood there, and definitely some wooden structure down there that is much wider than the actual bridge that you can see that I'm on. So I don't know if maybe this top bit's been added and this is the original structure. I don't know. I think we did spot just down there, just take it back down there, we did spot some concrete support pillars. So just looking down the side of the bridge there, I don't know, I can't imagine that's 100 years old. I think this must have been fully replaced at some point. But yeah, nice little structure, does show the course of the line. You can see they're looking back into Confederation Park. You know, what a beautiful area this is. You also hear the critters, as they call them, in the background. And here the rail line's gonna go this way, and we'll follow it up here. And there's your flea market. So here the line crosses a road, but it has been eaten up by modern housing development. So yeah, we're going to cut through. There's the housing development there. We're going to cut through this little cut through here, going loosely following the course of the line, and then hopefully we'll rejoin it in a second. You can see there the walking trail sign there. So back on the track bed now, swing you around and show you that. Just a correction to something I said earlier actually, this line was still in use for freight I think until the 90s, so yeah, it's definitely not 60 years it's been out of action, but even so, it only takes 20 years to pretty much eradicate most of the features of the line such as this. So yes, you can see we're exiting town on this very long straight stretch. Another few kilometres to get back to the main line, the Grand Trunk as it used to be called, the CN line now. There is one more bridge to show you, so I'm going to try and get to that point, and then I think we'll call it a day. We'll try and get to the mainline station tomorrow, just video that. Reason for that is that it has got a distinctive design like we've seen in the first part of this trilogy of videos. Of course it is an active station, so we'll have a quick look at that tomorrow and hopefully append that onto this video. So here we are at what appears to be a impressive steel girder bridge. Looks to be original for what I can work out. Just give you a slightly closer look up there. Obviously looks like they've added some sleepers to form, I guess, a walkway for pedestrians, but yeah, awesome to see this. So we're just gonna cross the bridge, and then that will be the end of this section of the walk. I think actually I just had to get some more shots of this awesome bridge. So this is the best side shot that I can get, trying to avoid stepping any further off the edge of this, and definitely don't want to touch any of those poisonous plants that we noted. So yeah, there we go, that's an awesome structure right there. So you join me here at the rather cute Gananoque active railway station. So not a great deal of trains stopping here, and I think it is actually a request stop as well.